In this video we're going to show you how to create the part you can see here. We're going to start with a blank job, draw the vectors that we need for the design, and then calculate a pocket and profile toolpath to cut the part out before previewing those and showing you how you could save the toolpaths to send them to your CNC. This is a short version of the video where we're really just showing you how quick and easy this process is. There is a longer version of the same example with much more detailed explanations as we work our way through the different stages. Let's open a new copy of the software. So we'll begin by creating a new file, and our work area for this is going to be 7.5 inches wide by 3 inches high, Z0 off the top of the block, material thickness 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to do my drawing with the XY date and position set to the center. Let's hit OK to create our work area. Now the first vector I want to create is going to be a rectangle, so I'm going to click on the icon for that, anchor point in the center at 0, 0, external radius corners in this case, and a width of 6.8 and a height of 2.4, and hit create. Then I'm just going to change the radius to 0.05 and change the width of this to 6.5 and 2.1 and create a second inner rectangle. Let's hit close, come over and click on the icon to create our text. Here I'm going to type Avalon, and we're going to use the Arial or Arial font type in the center with a text height of 1.3 inches. Hit apply and close. Then we want to center that in the middle of our part, so we're going to click on the icon, align center objects, and align that into the middle of our material. You need to make sure that your text is still selected when you do that. That's all the vectors we need in order to go ahead and calculate toolpaths for this job. So at this stage we can come up and click on the icon here to switch to the Toolpaths tab. That'll minimize the drawing tab on the left and open the Toolpaths tab over on the right of the screen. The next stage before we calculate any toolpaths is to double check our material setup. So we can click on the set button here, check Z0 still set to the top of the block, material thickness 3/4 of an inch, and I think for the actual toolpath creation and to datum this on my CNC itself, I want to change 0, 0 to be at the lower left hand corner, so I'm going to check that option there. Double check the rapid and home position to make sure they're safe and appropriate for any clamping mechanism that I'm planning to use, so that will be cleared by these values. Let's hit the OK button. And the first toolpath I want to create is going to pocket between this vector and the text, so just holding shift I'm going to click on those two objects, click on the icon here to pocket them. Start depth is going to be 0, cut depth is going to be 0.1 of an inch, and from the tool database I'm going to select an 1/8 inch end mill and hit OK. Now if we want to, we could override some of the settings for this tool in here, so that perhaps we want to do this in a couple of passes. So I'm going to enter a value for a pass depth of 0.05 of an inch, and we could also update or change any of the other values we wanted as well. I'm going to hit OK when I'm content with those. Now we can choose whether to offset or raster in this pocketed area. I'm going to choose offset. I'm going to choose the option to ramp, and then we'll just give this a name that's appropriate to the operation that we're doing, and I'm going to add in some information that helps me see the tool that I've used and hit calculate. Now if we just go into an ISO view, we can see the toolpath that's calculated in the 3D view. With the global fill color set to green, I'm just going to click on preview selected toolpath, and then we'll see exactly what the part will look like after that toolpath has run on the CNC. At this stage I just need to make sure that that looks correct. If it does, I'm ready to proceed to the next toolpath that I want to calculate. So we can close the preview toolpaths form, come over to the 2D view, select our outer rectangle, and this time choose the profile toolpath option. So we can check the start depth is 0, cut depth needs to be the thickness of my material, so I can pick up that value by typing Z equals into the box there. I'm going to select the 1/8 end mill again from the tool database. I'm just going to take the default settings for that. I'm going to cut on the outside of the vector we've got selected to cut it out. I am going to choose to ramp in, and I am going to choose to add tabs to hold the part in place. And I'll just take the length and thickness that I've got here for the tabs, click on the Edit Tabs button, and let's go ahead and add 4 tabs in there. If we want, we can just click to move those into what we consider more appropriate locations to hold the part in place. Let's close that. Let's give the toolpath a name. Hit calculate so we can see that added to our toolpath list, and then preview that so we can see what the finished part will look like when that toolpath's been executed. Now you can see the tab locations, how they're going to hold this in place, and again, as long as I can look at that and everything looks correct, then at this stage we're ready to save these toolpaths out and send them to our CNC. Now if we close the preview toolpaths form, when I come and click on the icon here to save the toolpaths, there's a couple of choices. I can either just select the toolpath I want to save, choose the appropriate post-processor which is going to convert this into a format my machine tool understands, so I need to make sure I pick the one that's appropriate for my CNC and hit save. Or in this case, because both toolpaths are being cut with the same tool, I may want to output them into a single file. In which case I just check the visibility of both of those so it's on, check this box at the top that says output all visible toolpaths to one file, check my post, click on save, give that a name, and now I could take that file that I've saved there, send it over to my CNC, match the setup to how I've set the part up in the software here in terms of X, Y, 0, Z 0 and the tool, and go ahead and run that in order to cut the part we can see here. So very, very quick and easy to go all the way through from start to finish, drawing our vectors, creating our text, which of course could say anything, and then calculating the toolpaths to pocket and profile this out. There is a longer version of this tutorial if you'd like to watch these steps and have a more detailed explanation at each stage. Thanks for watching the video.